Hello everyone, and welcome to my Marvel Studios Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness review. Obviously, this review is a little bit late, just a little. Obviously, my schedule did not go as planned, and here we are, like a month later. But I figured that with the release of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness on Disney Plus a few days ago from when you're seeing this, yesterday from when I'm recording this, it's as good as time as any to record this video. So let's just not delay any longer. It's been delayed enough, and jump right in. Well, let's start by talking about Doctor Strange himself. And I think he's probably at his best in this movie as he is in any other movie. Obviously, this movie has a lot more in it than just him. I mean, it really is the Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch movie. But I still think he's a fun character to watch, and if I were to choose anything to watch with Doctor Strange in it, say the original Doctor Strange movie or the Thor Ragnarok scene or whatever, I would pick this movie any day of the week. And yeah, he's arrogant and like sassy, I guess you could say. I don't know if sassy is the right word. But he has a little bit of back talk, but he's not like rude, I guess you could say. Well, actually, he can be, especially when he's being kidnapped, but what do you expect? But yeah, he's very good in this movie, and I really appreciate how he was handled, and this really has made me appreciate Benedict Cumberbatch himself as an actor even more. This segment will be pretty brief because I don't have all that much to say about America, but she is a pretty important part of the movie, so I figured I should at least talk about her for like 30 seconds. I don't know. Her character was interesting, and I don't really like how they sort of just dropped the fact that her parents, it was kind of her fault that they got lost in the multiverse. Like, they mentioned it halfway through the movie, I want to say. I don't know. And then they just dropped it until the end of the movie where they finally bring it up again. I think they could have made it a little bit more important if they're going to bring it up at all. And it just feels like a completely irrelevant piece of information that should be important. But other than that, I like her character. And, I don't know how to describe her, but she's alright. I don't mind her. Then there is the main antagonist, to not very many's surprise, but actually my surprise. I was one of the very few people who did not think that Scarlet Witch would be the main villain, but she ended up being the main villain. And her arc was very compelling. Obviously, it was a direct sequel to, or direct continuation of WandaVision. If you hadn't seen WandaVision, you're going to be super confused, which was funny because one of my friends that I went to see it with had not, so he was pretty confused for like the first half. But if you have seen it, you understand what's going on, and it is very compelling and very well written. And Elizabeth Olsen did a good job portraying her. These all sound like basic compliments, but it was an interesting character in the movie, and I don't have any complaints. And she most likely, of course, didn't die at the end. Then, they're not as important as some of these other things, but I do want to talk about the Illuminati. I was so excited, because when they mentioned the Baxter Foundation just a little bit, when Christine Palmer, like, they mentioned the Baxter Building, and I was like, and I just, like, whispered to my friends, that's a reference to the Fantastic Four. And then, after that, when Mordo walked in and said, the Illuminati will see you now, I was trying to keep it in, but I was going nuts inside. I was like, oh my god, who's gonna be on it? What the heck is gonna happen? And I was not disappointed at all. I was expecting Superior Iron Man, but honestly, I don't mind, whatever. we got Black Bolt, which was pretty cool to see. I think it's the same actor as who played him in that very obscure Inhumans show, which, by the way, no, I'm not going to watch, and no, that means I will not make a review, not that anyone was wondering. There was Captain Marvel, if it was her best friend, Maria? Yeah, Maria Rambeau. And then Captain Carter, which I really hope they reveal soon if it's the same Captain Carter from What If or a different Captain Carter. But either way, it's still awesome to see her. And then, of course, there was Professor X, which was the biggest deal, of course, though we already knew about him. Mordo, big whoop. And then the thing that got me the most excited, because I remember reacting in the theater, I was kind of like jumping in my seat a little bit, like hopping, when I saw this guy, Mr. Fantastic, John Krasinski. And when it finally happened, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, all the fans finally made it happen. And it was so great, even though he was only in the movie for like 2 or 3 minutes maybe, and he didn't have very many lines. He was still amazing in all those scenes, and he'd better be the main Mr. Fantastic of the MCU. And, oh my god, I was so excited, and it still gets me a little bit giddy inside when I rewatch the movie, which, by the way, I have rewatched it twice as of now, and it still gets me a little bit giddy inside. It makes me so happy, and that it really does show that the fans can make things happen if they want it enough. So, overall, this film does have its problems as a actual film, such as pacing. It kind of does drop a little bit towards the end, but I think that's mostly just because of the fault of the Illuminati showing up and then it just slowing down a little bit after that. And, but as a Marvel film, for a Marvel fan, without a doubt in my mind, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. And as a critical point of view, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. So still a great watch for not like diehard Marvel fans and even regular Marvel fans. So this movie was amazing, and I am definitely going to rewatch it multiple times in the future. Probably going to end up rewatching it a third time tomorrow. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys later.
And the smartest man alive, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four.
Hello, Stephen.